welcome back everyone, welcome back to another day, to the final day here of the Fusion Esports League FEL Cracov 2025 Polish Championship. Welcome to the playoffs. I'm of course just ZvT, and with me I'm joined by the amazing players, by the people in the chat, by the sponsors of the tournament as well. Welcome one and all to the second broadcast of the day, technically the third I suppose, but we were just live with the Sparkling Tuna Cup with our weekly open tournament. But now we're here, now we are live with the FEL, with the Fusion Esports League. We're here with the semi-finals, exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys would have a look back at yourselves, as the bracket is live and we have our top 4 players in Poland. Here we go. We have our Wikipedia page, and as you can see, we have our 4 players. We have our semi-finals bit. We have a little semi-finals here. We have Elazer versus Spirit in the upper semis, and we have Geralt versus Mana in the lower semi-finals. Here we go. 2 best of 5s. 2 best of 5s are ahead of us. On top of that, we have our 3rd place match, which will be a best of 7, and we have the grand finals, which will be a best of 9. We are here to crown the Prince of Poland. Let's go, the best player in all of Poland. Again, that has kind of passed around all these players at one point or another, between Geralt, between Elazer, Spirit, and Mana. But here in this season, in 2025, who is the strongest amongst them all? We're here to find out. On top of that, all these players will be taking part in the Fusion Esports League Cracov main event. There is going to be an offline tournament that is going to be in a couple of weeks' time. There are some people that I'm sure that are curious here that are questioning. They're like, hold on, is this the offline event? I heard about an offline tournament in Krakow. Yes. This is the Polish Championship. This leads into that offline event. That's going to be an $8,000 tournament, an $8,000 prize pool, I should say, at least currently. And in 2 weeks' time. In 2 weeks' time, we're going to be live with that event on the 27th of July, at the end of the month, after EWC, after Esports World Cup. But here we go, our players are ready, Vitas are done, and we're jumping into our first best of 5. We're jumping into our first semifinals, into Elazer and Spirit. Let's go. ZvT. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. I didn't get to cast a single Zerg player in the previous broadcast. not a single one, papi smurge. But here we go. This morning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the Polish Zerg player. We have the Red Zerg representing Team Liquid. It is Elazer. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Terran player, the Polish Terran representing ROC Esports. It is Spirit. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is a Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our ZvT. Coming into this, it's going to be a hard one to call. Last year, if we were here this time last year, I would say Spirit 100%, but Spirit, I'll be honest, has been a little bit less active as of late. So is Elazer though, so that's why I still actually lean towards Spirit here, but we'll see if Elazer can bring him down, as we are going for a hatch pool opener. Later gas here from Elazer. Yeah, my attention. You have my attention. So again, best of luck when it comes to your predictions, when it comes to the Gamba time. Best of luck in the chat as we have our initial semi-finals, our initial best of 5. Oh boy, let's go. And of course, it's going to be Mana versus Geralt thereafter, and then we'll get into 3rd place match finals as well. The entirety of that playoff bracket will be played tonight in today's broadcast. Let's go. As we are setting up back at home. CC first. Oh, my apologies. Okay, CC first. Yeah, the Spirit CC first into a delayed Rax into his own gases. So a very greedy build here by Spirit. I mean, Spirit, he's known for cutting corners, known for being greedy. At the same time, Elazer, likewise, also going gasless, also cutting corners, going for a third base and going for what looks to be a roach base opener, just because link speed is going to be so delayed here for Elazer. So Elazer's being greedy, so is Spirit. Both players are cutting corners in their own way. It's a game of greed. It's a game of economy. That's Elazer and Spirit for you. True. Both known for that style. As the initial Reaper is going to be on the way, 3rd base on the way for Elazer. Again, so far we're just droning, still making workers, still saturating, still settling in. Now we'll see if Spirits can punish the greed of Elazer. Again, because link speed is going to be so delayed, Elazer is going to be vulnerable to Hellion aggression. I would say that because of that, going for a gases opener like this is typically reserved for specific maps. For specific maps where you can be it can be easy to defend here with purely queen defense. There are certain maps where that does kind of favor that style. I don't think this is one of them though. Like, I do feel like this is a big risk here from Elazer. Just now, like almost like 250 gas timing here, so 245 gas timing out of Elazer. Very late gas, very late link speed, and if Spirit recognizes how greedy his opponent's being, he can punish. He can punish the greed. Oh boy. See, as a real Zerg, they exist. Aha, let's go. They're a little bit rarer, but yeah, they're out there. We're able to witness one of them at least in today's broadcast. Let's go, let's go. Meanwhile, we spoke about roaches, and yep, there we go. Because link speed is so late, when you go gases like this, you just skip link speed or delay it heavily, and you just go into a roach defense instead. So all the gases are being taken, a roach horn is on the way, and we will get into roach production soon, TM. Until then, though, Hellions, they will have map control. It is going to be a 3cc before starports or economic opener, economic follow-up here by Spirit. He can be active with some Hellions, but again, there's no big prioritization on Hellions. There is an add-on subject in the Banshee play, but again, like, this is still more of an economic start. There's not going to be that many Hellions, and the roaches are popping out. Elazer, he should get away with this. Obviously, he can be caught out of position, and Hellions, they can still bust into mineral lines. The Reaper does scout, does spot the Roach Warren. As these openers calm down, as we get into our openers, I do favor Elazer currently in this position. Elazer is freely droning, freely saturating. As long as he doesn't lose too many workers to the Hellions and the Banshees, he's going to be okay. He's going to be looking solid. All in. We have overload speed on the way. We have some roaches pushing out. We have Lair on the way as well, so the Lair should be for upgrade, should be for tech. But we'll see if Elazer drones, because he's actually on a quite low drone count. He's only droning up to 2 bases. Hellions, they rotate, roaches are in position, Hellions, they bust into the mineral line, they do get a line. Yeah, workers are lighting up here, it's gonna be 5 dead workers, they do get roasted, 5, 6, 7. Getting up to 9, getting up to 10 drone kills, very nice damage. But because we see overload speed, yeah, this layer is for Dropper-Lords. We're going for a German taxi, we're going for the all-in. So again, it was a greedy start out of Elazer, but 0 workers at the third. We're going for the all-in, and Spirit, he needs to defend back at home. He's fully walling up. We need bunkers, we need tanks more than anything, and without that, he's gonna be broken. And here we go, here comes Elazer. Here come the Dropper-Lords are on the way. Roaches get spotted by the Banshee. Gonna be loaded up. And Elazer, he is making drones behind this, so he's faltering. He is all in, but here it's showing us that he's actually second-guessing himself. He's droning up, he doesn't believe he can break his opponent. He doesn't believe he can break Spirit. Yeah, Elazer, his Spirit has been broken, he's pushing out as we speak. I do think he has potential. Like, again, there's no tanks at the natural, there's no tanks in the main. Like, if he committed to the all-in, I think he would break Spirit here and now. Yeah, there's 1 tank in the main base. SME is going to be going down. Like, imagine if we had Lynx behind this. If we had Ravagers morphing, I mean, the Ravagers are here. They can break down the front door. We can flood in Lynx. We could have broken the natural base. But again, the Elazer, he's droning. He's droning up behind this. I mean, he still might do critical damage anyway. True. As the tank is so busy in the main. Ooh, our vials are connecting. 15 SCV kills. And this is just getting out of hand. Takes down both depots, supply lock Spirit. Takes down more SCVs, tank is now repositioning. But we're going for 1-1. We're going for the upgrades. Bowser connects. They knock down both E-bays. And again, if Elazer was committed to the all-in, I do think that he can break this. He could have. But in the end, he backs up. Again, he's been droning, been saturating. We have the 4th hatchery on the way. Gases are being taken. Regardless, he's getting further ahead, he's securing himself. Unloading the use of the queens, dropping them over, spreading creep, throwing down tumors, and delaying the 3rd base as well for as long as possible, just gaining whatever vision he can, whatever value we can out of those queens. I'm dropping them once again. They head on over. They will almost catch the Viking. Almost. Here, Spirit, he does drop over towards the base. Going for a split push. I mean, oh god, I was gonna say Spirit, he has to do whatever he can, and he can gain value with these drops, but he will lose everything. The piles. They shut down the drop. Spirit, he sims in, but things are looking very bleak here for Spirit. I mean, there's creep everywhere. He does have a third base. He does have an economy to work with. Does cancel the fifth at least, but that's the fifth base. Like Elazer, he can afford to lose it. It's fine. He still has the fourth. The creep is lackluster for sure. Oh my god. Jesus. Cuidado, papi, cuidado. We get out of here. As Elazer, he's going to be the first to max. He's going to be the first to max out. Hive is done. We have the Ultra Cavern on the way, getting into Adrenal. Spirit, the one chance that he has is if Elazer is too passive. If Elazer, if he's too passive, if he makes some mistakes and takes a bad engage, or if he throws away too much supply going for counterattacks or run bys, and there's a chance. Likewise, the Spirit can get across map if he can get a mineral line, if he can trade efficiently with these drops. Like, there are ways to recover here, but a lot needs to go right for Spirit, and a lot has to go wrong for Elazer. Gets a queen. That's a good start. Catching another queen. Share my again. Share. So we go. Ultra production has begun. Ultras are amassing. Uncles are ready. And once again, Spirit, he does deny the fifth. that's twice now. Which is okay. It's nice. It's being done. We still need more though. As Elazer is maxed. Like this he's reached his final form. He's maxed out. He's waiting for upgrades. Kind of splitting is gonna be a big one, of course. You do not want to hit without it. So kind of splitting is still on the way. Then into ultra speed, likewise +2 carapace as well. These upgrades should be lined up. So Spirit, he has a little bit of time to try to muster a defense. Ghost Academy's on the way, but by the time the Ghost Academy finishes, then the army's gonna knock down his front door. Like again, like it just shows how far behind Spirit is tech-wise, supply-wise, army-wise, like economically. Again, pushing into this is not going to be easy, especially without Vipers. Like, Vipers are ideal for breaking these entrenched positions. Ideally, Elazer wants to wait for Spirit to take a fourth. Once he takes a fourth base, then he will spread himself a little bit more thin, and then it's going to be more accessible for Elazer. This is where also Elazer should be throwing down a Spire. Like, he has a bank that's building up, he should be throwing down a Spire, working towards a greater Spire, working towards Vipers, working towards more upgrades. Here comes Elazer. Tanks on siege. Yeah, Tanks on siege is going for the dive. Shows his fungals, and he does catch out the army. 2-3 infest is going to be going down. Another fungal connects. Takes in a massive chunk of bio. And he's pushing in. And again, the choke point makes it difficult to push forward, but GG gets caught. The ultras overwhelm, and Elazer takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Elazer does take a lead in the series. Again, it was just a really rough start for Spirit, winding it back. Remember, both players were hyper greedy. Both players cut corners early on, but Elazer, he turned that greed into a 2-base all-in. Remember, he cut workers at 44, went for a 2-base all-in. If you recall, Spirit, he was unaware as to what was happening. Spirit was also being greedy himself. He did go for a heli run-by. He killed 10 drones, which was great, but he didn't actually get eyes on the third base and the lack of saturation. Because of that, we were lacking tanks in position, we were lacking bunkers as well. Spirit, he did not have the defensive setup he needed, and even though Elazer didn't commit completely to the all-in, his move out, his push still did critical damage. So Elazer, he was ahead just from the moment that he was able to take control of the natural. And how many SCVs did he kill? Like 15 plus? Like 16, 20-ish, 20-ish SCVs went down. Like it was pretty critical damage. It was game-ending damage there, which is why we emphasize that it came down to Elazer making mistakes or Spirit forcing mistakes out of Elazer in the aftermath of that. Of course, he was hanging in there with that GG. With that GG well played, now we're getting to game number 2. And game 2, going to be loading into ley lines. Now, when it comes to Ultra Love is known for these all-ins and known for these early pushes. Like, it favors that kind of style just because of how small the map is. Here, we're loading into a larger map. We're going to be loading into ley lines. Ley lines, one of the more standard maps in the map pool. So here, I would imagine we're going to be going for some different openers. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the Polish Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing ROC Esports down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can make a series out of this. It is Spirit. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Polish Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing Team Liquid, leading the series 1-0. It is Elazer. Go. Now, I do not expect to see Elazer go for a gasless opener again. Like, as a reminder, last game he went for a gasless opener into roaches, into a 2-base roach all-in. That was much more, I should say, specialized for Ultra Love. Maps like Ultra Love, maps like Pylon as well, maps like Persephone. These are the maps where I do see that kind of play excelling. Here on ley lines, less so. So we're expecting a gas. Ooh. But despite my expectations, do you see what I see? Gasless. Hatchery into spawning pool. Once again, no gases. This looks like the same opener 2 games in a row. Now, this doesn't have to lead into a 2-base all-in like we saw previously, but it's going to be available here. And when Spirit sees what's going on, once again, CC first, by the way. It's we're getting a repeat of game 1. It's going to be gasless out of Elazer and CC first out of Spirit. Once Spirit sees what's going on, though, now all-ins and now aggressive builds are going to be in the back of his mind. So he's going to be a lot more aware of that. He's going to be a lot more expectant of that. Which is why I expect to see Elazer going for maybe a 9-roach push and then joining. And not committing as hard. But we'll see. Regardless, we expect roaches here out of Elazer. The reason why, just like last game, if you weren't here for it, is because the build is gasless. It's too late to get into link speed. By the time you take your gases, it's too little, too late. It's not worth it. So you just skip link speed and you just open roach instead. Now, the biggest weakness here when it comes to this build here from Elazer, it's really greedy and you have to rely heavily on your queens to defend. Just because you have no links to defend, you have no roaches either for quite some time. We saw that last game, remember, Elazer, he lost 10 drones. He lost 10 workers to the Hellion harass, and we could see that even get more out of control and out of hand. So it's going to be on Spirits as he does open up again. He went CC first. No Reaper. No SCV scouts, no vision as to what's going on. He's going Marine first, into Reactor, into Factory, and from here I would imagine he'll go for a 3rd CC. We'll see if he goes for a 3rd CC or for a Starport. As building up resources. So keep an eye on Spirit. Behind this, we're still just joining. Just now the first gas is being taken, so again a much later gas, guys, around 2:45-ish. There's the Adult Sulfur Hellions, and there's the 4th CC. There's 4th Command Center is on the way. Oh, sorry, Starport. Spirit, he has 400 minerals. He banked up a lot of minerals here, which is why I just assumed it was going to be the CC, but he's going for a 1-1-1 instead. I like this. So Starport before Command Center. This is a lot more assertive. This is a lot more aggressive because now we get into Banshees earlier than normal. Gases are now being taken. As we mentioned, Roach Warren is no surprise. As we mentioned, again, when you go for a gasless opener, you do have to play Roach. Hellions are moving out. The earlier Banshees here will help against Roach aggression, for sure. They help not just to harass, but also to be defensive as well. So much earlier Banshees this time out of Spirit. So I do like this adaptation, even investing into Cloak. From the side of Elazer, do you see what I see? I see Roach production, he fully walls off as well. Again, he has nothing to defend, so these Hellions can wreak havoc. That's why the full wall is necessary to buy time. But what's important, this time, lair is on the way. That's a 4-minute lair timing. It's not as fast as last time. And also, no overlord speed either. Elazer's droning. He's droning up more than he did last time. So Elazer, he's droning, he's saturating. Again, he's making roaches only to defend. You can see he's still making workers. He's not going for the same all-in that he did last time. We'll see when he cuts workers, because that's overload speed. I mean, it isn't the same all-in, because he's droning up to 50. Droning up to 52. Now, overload speed is indicative of Dropper Lords. There's no reason to get overload speed this early on. Double Evo Chamber, I mean, so far, you should be canceling one of those. Lair's on the way also for drop lords. Roaches, they move out, and he's going for a roach drop into the natural. So we have a roach drop here across the map, and we're still droning. So again, this is not an all-in. He is going for drop lord play, but only to harass. And what I love about this build is that it looks similar to last game. It looks similar, but it's nowhere near as committed. Nowhere near. But of course, Spirit doesn't know that. Spirit back at home, getting to his double E-bays. Banshee's going to be going, Worker's going to be going down to the Banshee. So far, 0 detection. Overseer now coming in. 5 drone kills, not a bad start here for the Banshee. At the same time, here comes the Dropper Lord. But again, only 1 Dropper Lord to harass. Ooh, Elazer with a bit of an F2. Yeah, he does F2 the army back. So the drop is going to be heavily delayed as Roaches are racing back home to defend. Hellions are dealt with, but again, the drop is going to be later than what it should be. So later drop here from Elazer. Back at home, where are the Banshees? He has 2 Banshees across the map, but no Banshees to defend back at home. He does have a tank, does have some Marines. He should have enough to hold against this, but SCVs will be going down. Here we go, double drop into the natural. Gets 1 drone, pulls away. Meanwhile, drop here into the natural base of Spirit. Spirit so far, no vision, doesn't see this. Weekend Banshee comes back home. The high health Banshee does get 2 more drones, 3 in total. There's the drop. And 3 SCVs, nothing major. 3 SCV kills, and the Roach is going to be thrown away. Now from here, the game will continue. From here, the game will progress. Laser is drawn up to 3 base saturation, now getting a 4th base just for Larva, and now he's working towards Ling, Bane, Roach, Ravager. Or I say Banelings. Currently, Ling, Roach, Ravager. Technically, this could be Ling, Roach, Ravager into Ultra, and he might just skip Banelings entirely. It looks like that's the case. Yeah, he's going to be skipping Banelings. Hive is on the way. Infestors are on the way. Just like last time, the end goal, the purpose here, the final form of Elazer is going to be with Ultras. So he's working towards his Ultras. Meanwhile, here comes the main push here from Spirit. He was building up for this 7-minute timing. A very standard timing at a Spirit. The 4th base is going to be denied. And without Banelings, it's going to be a tough hold. That's why you need the Infestors. But we're a couple of seconds off. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. There we go. First Fungal does not connect. Oh my god, the splits back. The splits are crazy. Does split, does avoid. Another Fonts. Again, he splits against the Fungals. There's 2 Fungals left. 2 Fungals remaining. Down to 1. 1 Fungal left. A better connection towards the end here, but that was 4 Fungals. And Spirit, he's gaining ground. Behind this is reinforcing. His reinforcements are late. He was getting ready for a counterattack. If he was just rallying across, he could just break the base here and now. But again, 0 Fungals remaining. And without Fungals, I don't think Elazer can hold. Yeah, he's not going to be able to hold on. Banshees, they have arrived. They're going to focus on the Ravagers. There we go, 1 Fungal on the Banshees, but it may not matter. Oh, no! It may not matter. Nice dodge. And GG. GG gets called. Spirit, he ties up the series 1-1. Whew. Let's go. GG, well played. Let us go again. Elazer, he was relying so heavily on those fungal growths for good reason. Again, those were the only thing that were going to keep him alive, and we saw 4 fungals and only 1 fungal really connected, and even then it grazed the army as well. So some really nice splits there out of Spirit, some really nice unit control there as he does break and he does punish Elazer for his greed for cutting corners. When I say cutting corners again, he was skipping out on Banelings, he was delaying, of course, he was rushing into a Hive. The Hive was on the way before his 4th base. That's how greedy this build was for Elazer. He was relying, again, everything was on those Infestors. With that, GG. GG, well played. Spirit, he does break through. Spirit ties up the series. Let's go. Let us go. As we're now getting into game number 3. Getting into... we're here to determine who takes the lead in the series. I was going to say getting into the ace match, but of course, best of 5. Best of 5, not a best of 3. So plenty more games ahead of us. Plenty more games to come. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the Polish Zerg player. We have the Red Zerg representing Team Liquid. Being forced into a tied series, we'll see if we can bring it back. It is Elazer. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Polish Terran player, the Red Terran, representing ROC Esports, tying up the series. It is Spirit. We go. Here we go, so we're getting into game number 3. And we'll see if our players do deviate at all. Speaking of, for the first time this entire series, we do have Spirit going Rax first. So it's going to be a Rax first opener here, not CC first out of Spirit. I'm a little bit surprised that he's opting to go for a standard opener on Tokamak, which is one of the larger, more standard maps. But here, 3 games in, he does go for a more standard build. Meanwhile, we do see Elazer going Hatch, Pool. Once again, he's going gasless. Like Elazer, he's known for his greed, and he's doing the same thing here once again. No gases, which means a roach-based opener out of Elazer. No link speed early on. So same opener 3 games in a row, but as a reminder, game 1 went for a 2-base all-in. Game 2, he went for a drop into a more economic follow-up. I say economic follow-up, still though very greedy as he was rushing into a hive. Game 3, is he going to be more tame? Does he, instead of rushing into a hive, embrace and make sure he has a secure Roach Ravager composition first before rushing into or before taking into the hive instead? We'll see how Elazer does adapt throughout the course of this series. Here we go. Spirit, he moves out across the map. He's got his earlier Reaper. With this, he'll get faster scouting information as to what's going on. Remember, these past couple of games, he's been going Marine first just because of the faster CC. This time, he has the Reaper. There's the pin. Gets eyes on the setup. Gets eyes on the timing of the third. From here, he can rotate into the main base and get eyes on gases. As it's going 3 CC before starport. Okay, so we do have an economic follow-up here. But again, the big difference this game is that Spirit does have the early Reaper. And this would have told him about an early Roach push. Which isn't the case, right? There isn't any kind of early Roach timing. Gash is now on the way. There's that Roach Warden and Spirit he scouts. Yeah, he sees. So he knows. He knows that it was a gasless opener now. He has confirmation. And we'll see how hard he commits with these Hellions. As once again, he's going to be going Hellion Banshee, which is just a really secure way to play against Roach Ravager, or Roach-based openers. And as we mentioned before, it's going to be difficult here for Elazer to keep his worker count safe and sound. Not impossible, but it's going to be a little bit more challenging for him. It's going to be up to Spirit to try to get some damage done. Here we go, we have our first 2 Hellions. We have more Hellions on the way. Perks in, we do once again have a full wall. And again, this is your answer here. As we mentioned, just to re-emphasize, there is nothing here to defend against the Hellion Reaper, so if this wall was open, they will just rush in and they will kill drones. They will just roast up workers, which is why the wall is necessary here to survive. Oh, speaking of, roaches are just now coming out, and the roaches have come out just in time. I say that the Hellions are bust into the main, 1 Hellion goes down, just 1 Hellion left. And this won't get much done. Drones are getting weakened, and 3 drones go down in total. Some okay damage. Gets an eye on the timing of the lair. Overlord speed is on the way once again for drop lords. Ooh, as Hellions, they hit the 3rd. They hit it just in time. They get 6 drones in total. They pull out, they pull away. And behind this, Banshees are amassing. Now, Elazer has to make a choice. Does he re-drone? Does he commit to a push? He's re-droning. He's droning, he's saturating, getting good 55 workers. Yes, he's getting into Overlord speed. Yes, he has the faster lair. And yes, he's going for a Drop Lord play, but this is only to harass. Or at least it seems to be the case. Just like last game. Here we go. Ooh, I say that 2 Drop Lords back at home. He's committing harder here. Hellions, they poke in. I'm curious to see, like, what he does. Oh, my apologies. 1 at home or 1 across the map. we go, loading up the first 4 roaches. We have more roaches in production here for Elazer. Elazer cutting workers at 58 and drops into the main base, disrupting some of the production. But the Banshees did decide to stay back home. At the same time, Hellions, they confirmed more droning. And more drones on the way. Hellions are cleaned up. Oof. And I do worry for Spirit now. Spirit, he's lost a lot of Hellions, he's lost a lot of bio. His production is, I mean, his racks are still not done. There we go, just now getting back on it. But once again, we do see the roaches being dropped on top of the production to delay, because here comes Elazer. It's all or nothing here. Elazer, he drones up to under 3 base saturation, so this is a 2.5 base all in, and he's pushing, he's just going for it. He's sending it across the map, and Spirit, he's stuck in the main. Like, there's nothing. There's nothing here. Like, his production's just so late, and he's just out of position. And that might just be game. That might just be game here and now. Roaches have arrived. Spirit, he's not where he needs to be. There's 1 tank, a handful of Marines. Again, he was just so distracted as to what was going on. And with that, the tank goes down, and with that, the base is going to be broken. Like, if Spirit had seen this coming ahead of time, then we would have bunkers, would have siege lines as well. But also the 1 tank, only a handful of Marines. Like, Spirit, he was down, what, 60 supply? Elazer dropping back into the main base. Again, it was this drop that was the MVP because it distracted Spirit. And with that Elazer, he has done it. He has done it. He has broken the back of Spirit. There's nothing at the 3rd. There's now nothing at the natural. Now he's pushing his way into the main. And so far this series, again, like, despite it being the same opener, we've seen different forms of aggression, different forms of all-in. GG gets called, and Elazer, he does take a lead in the series. GG. And again, Elazer has been so tricky with the follow-up of this build. Remember, game 1, it was an all-in, a 2-base all-in off of 44 workers. Game 2, he went into a more macro game instead, where he got shut down. At least he tried to be very tech-heavy and rush into Hive. Game 3, he rode for 2.5 bases on 58 workers instead of game 1, which was 44. So here he drone up a little bit harder. It was a bit of a later all-in, but because it was later, it looks like Spirit was just assuming that Elazer was taking up. The Elazer was droning. He was just assuming that. Even though I would argue that the Hellions saw the roaches. Remember the Hellions, they saw the roaches as they were being produced. I mean, he saw some drones and some roaches being produced, so it was a bit of a mix of both. So Spirit just had a really hard time reading what Elazer was up to, and with that GG. With that GG, well played. And again, that job did a great job at just distracting Spirit, keeping his attention elsewhere, and Elazer got across the map unscouted. GG. GG well played, and with that, Elazer is now on match points. 1 more game, and Elazer will claim the series. Spirit, he has to win here and now to force the ace match. Oh boy. Here we go. Here we go. Now getting into game number 4, and again, the pressure is on Spirit. And again, it's Elazer, he's coming up as a very kind of tricky player to play against, just because, like, is he droning, is he not, is he committing to an all-in, is he not, like, what exactly is happening? Spirit, he's having a hard time reading it. And here we go. Looks like our next game is going to be on Persephone. So Persephone is up next. Persephone. The pressure is on. Roach drop alerts? Yes. We've had roach drops every game so far. But again, what's been differentiating all these games is that, again, different follow-ups, different kind of all-ins, different forms of commitment out of Elazer. They've all been the same opener, going for a gasless opener into roaches, into roach drop, but the follow-up has been different every time. Boy. And now we're getting into game number 4. And spawning in the bottom hand corner of Persephone, we have the red Zerg player. We have the Polish Zerg representing Team Liquid, leading the series 2-1 and 1 game away from advancing on to the grand finals. It is Elazer. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Polish Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing ROC Esports down in the series, and one more loss and he will be knocked down to the third place match. He has to win here and now to force the ace match. It is Spirit. Here we go, and as we get into this, a big shout to Ragnar in the chat. Thank you so much, Gab. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time, and welcome one and all to the FEL, to the Fusion Esports League. We're now here in game number 4, potentially the final game of this series. As a reminder, this is the first series of this broadcast, and we still have another semifinals to determine who plays against the winner of this series. It'll be a Protoss one way or the other, as next matchup is going to be a PvP. But focusing on this series here, once again, gasless opener. Once again, hatchery into a spawning pool. No gases out of Elazer. Once again, going for a roach-based opener. And again, this is kind of going along the narrative that we've seen so far in this series, is every game it's been the same opener out of Elazer, but does he commit to an all-in? Does he commit to roaches across the map or not? Does he drone or does he not drone? It's on Spirit. It's on Spirit to figure that out. Ay. Spirit does a lot better on the front foot. I mean, so far, at least in this series, like, just to re-emphasize, it's been coming down to scouting, or I should say, it's coming down to the lack of scouting. Like, that's what's hurting Spirit right now. I do think that he's been making some assumptions, especially last game. I think last game he was just making some assumptions as to what was happening instead of confirming. And to be fair, it's hard to confirm, especially if you lose all your Hellions, right? Like, he did throw away all his Hellions, so he had limited information as to what was happening. So very limited. Here we go. Reaper does move out across the map. Once again, this was a CC first into a Rax, into the Reaper, staying at home actually. Okay, did a CV scout at least. But he does keep his Reaper at home. Behind this, gas is now on the way. A laser is droning. There's that Roach Horn. From here, we should soon be working towards a lair, working towards Overlord speed, working towards at least a 2-base saturation. I should also mention, welcome one all to Passivity. This is one of the more aggressive maps out there. I say more aggressive maps. The rest distance by ground is very direct. It's relatively short as well. So I could see a laser committing with roaches. Could see that happening. Now he's droning, he's saturating. We will soon reach the 4-minute mark, and that's what we're going to be expecting the tech of choice. Meanwhile, third CC before Starport. Economic follow-up here at the Spirits. Going for the Atom Soul, going into Banshees. I think another example of lack of scouting is that, remember last game, Spirit, he opened up double Banshee. He didn't harass with them. He kept them at home. He kept them at home to defend. Because they weren't across the map, they weren't harassing, they weren't scouting. It's another kind of thing that occurred in the last game. Reaper picks in. There it is, a 4-minute lair. So early there, timing out of a laser, and we are expecting Overlord speed. Ooh, as Reaper goes down. Reaper does fall, a laser is still droning up. Spirit, he's poking in. He spots a couple of roaches that are moving out across the map. But again, the laser's droning. He's showing off this roach, making it look like he's being more aggressive than he is. Spirit, he's racing back home. Does race home behind this, Marauder production has begun. He's walling up with his E-base. There's that overload speed that we mentioned for the Dropper Lords. And again, the laser's still droning. He's still just saturating his bases. He has a couple of roaches that he's fanning out. Banshee's revealed. And here comes the Dropper Lord. Dropper Lord on the left-hand side. There is a Viking on the way. That is going to be a nice way to shut down these Dropper Lords. So that is an adaptation here for Spirit, is that now he's opening Viking. As we've seen Dropper Lords every game so far, so I don't blame him. The Viking will help. We have another Dropper Lord on the way. So one across the map, and there we go, Viking just in time. Getting himself with the Dropper Lord. The Bio Army does respond. Overlord is going to go down. Very nice cleanup. Trades with the Roaches. Again, this is a nice trade here for Spirits. I mean, better than what we saw previously. Cleans up the drop. And Elazer's droning. This time he's actually droning up. He's droning up to what? He's droning up to 3 bases. Up to proper 3 base economy here on all 6 gases. And now it's go time. Now he's making nothing but Roaches. Now he's massing up his army. The army got spotted. If we see a 4th base, it should just be for Larva. There it is. 4th base is on the way. I would imagine just for Larva. Roaches are building up. And Elazer, he's going to commit quite hard to this. So this time it's on 3 bases. Now, the reason why I say he's going for an all-in here, I mean, outside of him not droning at all, no EVA chambers. No EVA chambers, no upgrades, no infestation bit, no tech, no nothing here for Elazer. Just purely Roaches and Ravagers. At least Roaches for now. There's no link speed, there's nothing else here. Meanwhile, Spirit back at home, he's trying to muster up a defense. He has 0 bunkers here. He has 0 bunkers at his 3rd, he just salvages bunker at the natural. Elazer coming in from behind. He slips into the bases, at the same time being distracted here on the left hand side as well. Again, 0 more workers here from Elazer, cutting workers at 66. The main army's being deflected, but Elazer gets into the mineral line. Yeah, and SCVs are going down. Likewise, he busts into the main, gets himself with the production, takes down the tank, going for the upgrades, and Spirit's being pulled apart. He's being pulled apart again. He missed the army. He missed the flanking force. Now picking up more SCVs. Now Spirit, he will clean this up eventually, but not without losing 20 workers. And here comes Elazer. More boys are being pulled. More SCVs going to be going down. And this is game-ending damage. Yeah, this is just game-ending damage here. Elazer just committing. Spirit, he missed the main army. He missed the flanking army slipping into his bases. He had no bunker set up. Once again, he didn't know how much danger he was in. Oof. Drop into the main. Drop into the main as well. And Elazer, he has done it. He has broken spirits. Let's go. The one game that Elazer didn't all in was the game that Spirit won. fun fact. That was the game on ley lines, of course. As Elazer coming from behind, he piles down the main army. The Marines, the boys being pulled once again. There's barely any boys to pull. Biles, they punish the boys. 61 SCV kills. GG, well played. And Elazer, he does it. He takes out Spirit 3-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, Elazer. He will claim the series. Very fast games, very fast matches. We never really got to embrace like proper 3 base versus 3 base or 4 base versus 4 base. We never got to macro up into that point. The one time we tried to, the one time Elazer tried to, it got shut down. So instead, he was like, screw it, I'm gonna just commit to these roach rollers instead. Hitting at different timings, of course, and each time Spirit had a hard time recognizing what was happening and recognize how much danger he was in and what was coming his way across the map. He was looking decently fortified at his 3rd base, winding it back a little bit. He had the sensor tower at his 3rd, he had his tanks at the 3rd base, but again, he didn't have anything at the natural. He wasn't really expecting a flanking army like that, and we saw that Elazer was able to slip on by, slip on in, and just end the game. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Elazer as he does claim it, and with that we have our first finalist. Elazer will advance on to the grand finals. Spirit, he's knocked down to the 3rd place match, where Spirit is going to be waiting, or they're both players I suppose, are going to be waiting for the winner and loser of our next series. Who's up next? Geralt versus Mana. It's going to be the lower semifinals match between Geralt and Mana. They're going to be facing off in a PvP to determine who makes it to the finals and who faces off against Elazer, who does face off against Spirit. Let's go. Another best of 5. Until then, we're going to be going on a short break. Actually, I suppose we can just show off the bracket. True. Let us show off the bracket here. Un momento. Here we go. So as you can see here, we have our playoff brackets. We just wrapped up with Elazer versus Spirit. That's soon to be updated here, with Elazer winning the series 3-1. Likewise, here on the lower portion, we have Geralt and Mana also facing off. They're about to begin in a couple of minutes here. Looks like the Vita's already done. Vitas are done, and game 1 is going to be on ley lines. So we'll see you guys soon. We're going to be going on a very short break here, and when we come back, we'll have Geralt versus Mana facing off. We'll see you soon. See you soon after the break.